What's up, everybody? Rex is DreamWorks, and we are going to talk about how you all remember TT Games, right? Which, of course, I never knew it was a British company until I looked it up. But it has made multiple games from Lego Star Wars up to Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, I think that's in the right order. Lego Jurassic World, Jurassic World, and other and Lego Marvel Superheroes, which of course it's also followed up with some other new games like that Lego racing game. But what if TT Games made a Lego video game based off of DreamWorks animation? Now here's how it goes. We have like 1,000 characters in either in movies or shorts and shows, Netflix or So, what? But anywho, we gotta talk about the characters. Which characters in multiple games we've played as minifigures, key term mini. This time, we know that since DreamWorks started off live action to 2D animation and stop motion then 2D animation. But the fourth bit is CGI, which then became number one top animation per priority because of how Shrek happened, and that's where I want to get to. So when you start playing Lego DreamWorks, you guys start off with the Shrek movie line, but there's like some sort of hub where all DreamWorks characters can come in. The DreamWorks hub, if you could, or anything. You can even have the ability to free roam their worlds if you want, and do other missions and unlock other characters. But here's another thing. Let's talk about the stories. In the first level, you know what? Shrek is a big Lego figure. Donkey will sort of be a minifigure or a medium-sized Lego figure. But when it comes to characters, you see, we've always gone multiplayer. But what if in the first level with Shrek, after the cutscene that involves the song All Star, you start off in the dead of night as Shrek by yourself, no second player. It's a first player stage. Unless it was. And if multiplayer would work. Well, let's first discuss it. The first stage is where you're trying to sneak behind villagers who are trying to get into your home, or Shrek's home, or your home, or just Shrek's home in general. To make sure your home is safe and void of villagers pestering you, you would have to sneak by in the dead of night, sort of like a minigame, and sneak right behind them and activate the cutscene when you start, as soon as you build up the roar, then there's like a sort of a mini cutscene that doesn't exactly look like the cutscene. It's like all Lego characters standing idly by while the words will come out, and then the cutscene will come in after you hold B and then release. Then it will activate Shrek's cut. Then it will give you access to the cutscene where he roars and then says, "This is the part where you run away." And they run away and they say out. Then he finds a poster of Fairy Tale Creatures Wanted, which actually leads up to the second character you find, and that is Donkey. However, there's actually going to be 3 stages. I'll get to that. The second one is another sort of mini game. This one is where you run away from a group of guards of knights, a group of knights of Duloc who chased after you. So you gotta try to avoid any obstacles that will slow you down and get captured. But it ends when of course, another cutscene comes in. You bump in to Shrek. Shrek scares off the knights as Donkey starts following his savior to his home, which is leading up to stage 3. which of course is now both two characters being played at once. However, when it comes to the Shrek and when it comes to multiplayer or single player can be both Shrek in one stage and Donkey in the second, or both in the third stage. Multiplayer, say me, I would be in the first one, and a friend of mine would have to be Donkey. I would be Shrek. My friend would have to be Donkey, like Iron High C17. And then we come together in the stage three. We adventure all the way, solving puzzles like all Lego games are about, and figure out how work Shrek and Donkey. I mean, it's obvious that Shrek would traverse through mud. So, and he's a big Lego figure, so that means he has strength. So, what would be the color of those handles to tell you? Green. Light green, not dark green like in Marvel superheroes with the Hulk's skin color. We're going to talk about Shrek's color. So when it comes to the third stage, and then you figure out that Donkey has the ability to charge or something, do kicks or anything. Yeah, in a way. I mean, he has those choppers, so he could probably cut through some stuff. And when it comes to, oh, I thought the video was stopping for a second, but anywho, when it comes to stage three, that's it. Then you go into a new stage, which is actually sort of like a round battle. Like you have to go through many rounds as both Shrek and Donkey while you fight the Duloc Knights that are known as that are contestants in in the round, of course. So that means you have to fight them, and then when you do that, you technically finish that level. That's all it is. It's just one stage, and you get Lord Farquaad to convince his mind, and rather than kill you, you and Donkey send us to find Princess Fiona, which leads us up to the third level, the Dragon's Keep. So this is actually a little bit confusing because I haven't really thought of this one, but the third level. So we're not doing the bridge area. I mean, that would be cool, but nah. Let's just do it the regular way. So, third player. No, it is not third player. What am I talking about? This is a two-player game. So when it comes to Shrek and Donkey, Shrek would be able to go ahead and get some armor on. So he needs to like search through some stuff, like break apart pieces, find them, and then apply them. So that way he can become Knight Shrek or Sir Shrek, which is actually another. Oh yeah, first level obviously you unlock Shrek and Donkey. You don't actually unlock any other character other than Shrek and Donkey. But in the third level, you unlock. Well, it also leads up to Donkey. Well, after collecting all the armor pieces, Shrek and Donkey will split up and find a way to, or like Donkey. It's so funny how a donkey's gonna be watching out for a dragon, like a 10-story dragon compared to the size of a regular donkey. Like dragon, donkey. Anywho, so the two split up. But of course, it leads up to a cutscene where, well, that is the cutscene, and Donkey finds dragon. In truth, is actually named Elizabeth. Just a little reminder, because I was even surprised when I figured that out too on a store on Wattpad. With a crossover of My Little Pony and Shrek. It's sort of like at the end of season 9 of My Little Pony, but you try to look it up on Wattpad if you have the time. And when it comes to the third level, it's sort of like a big cutscene where Shrek takes Fiona, wakes her up, and brings her. And of course, they have to work together to save Donkey, who they thought was going to get eaten by by Elizabeth. So that's where you also learn to play as Fiona, and that's the third character you unlock. So And then you basically have to all three of you run. You can pick any character, mainly Shrek and Donkey, or Fiona, or Shrek and Fiona, and you have to run as heck as you fast as you can. Which of course after the cutscene where Elizabeth accidentally kisses Shrek's booty, his stinky butt. But then after the running away, and with a ending with a cutscene where Elizabeth roars in sadness, and then Fiona discovers that Sir Shrek is actually an ogre, wearing dead knight armor, wearing armor from a fallen knight. Then gets carried away, which actually leads up to the fourth level. The fourth level is actually another battle. So that's between Shrek and Fiona and Donkey against Robin Hood and his merry men. After being like a few rounds, you like have to take out as many hearts as you can until that cutscene where Robin Hood is defeated. Or it could be just Fiona, so that could be just a single player moment. But only if you're playing as Fiona, it could be also the multiplayer one. Shrek and Fiona are basically the fighters. I mean, Donkey could attack too, but so that would lead up to finding a way into the fifth level, which of course, after a conversation which was nighttime. Hold on, just my buddy talking to me. But when it comes to the nighttime, you basically after mishearing what Fiona as an ogre was saying to Donkey, Shrek goes. It's actually a Shrek only level, but actually, yeah, good news. In a way, you just play only as Shrek, sadly. I mean, that could be only a single player moment. I think that is a single player moment. I mean, they made Skylanders, which is basically only when they only say one Skylander, there's two players. But when it comes to the fifth level, which is that Shrek, we finally figured out like what he's talking about. Like we figure out what he's saying as he goes to the kingdom of Duloc and tells Farquaad what's happened. And afterwards, which of course leads up to another stage. Like, of course, a huge cutscene where Shrek basically tells Donkey off, and then Donkey sneaks back finds Elizabeth, and then Shrek finds Shrek, argues with him, and then tells him that Fiona was talking about someone else, not Shrek. But it leads into the second stage, which actually you get to play as Dragon as you fly through the skies and on your way to Duloc. Sort of like a short mini stage. But the third stage is where you actually get to play as her as you defend Shrek and Donkey's backs from a horde of incoming knights of Duloc, using her claws, tails, and her wings, her size, and notably her fire breath. And then it will lead up to another stage, the fourth stage of the fifth level, and that level ends where you're playing as Shrek and Fiona, but Fiona is in a White Ranger. So in terms of unlocking, you unlock Shrek and Donkey in the first level. You unlock human Fiona in the third level. Final level, you unlock both the green skin Princess Fiona ogre, or Princess Fiona as an ogre, followed up with her as an ogre in her wedding dress. So that's basically two unlocks there. And when you're in the character pack selection, more like not the selection wheel, but more like the periodic table of characters to choose, that's how it goes. But then we'll get into the second movie. How would that happen? Let's see, the second movie, there was like, it's based off of the honeymoon. You don't play as Prince Charming, that's for sure. So, who do you unlock? You don't unlock anyone, you just unlock the. Let's see. Actually, you know what? You don't really need to do anything. It's like a big arse cutscene from the honeymoon. I mean, like, Prince Charming goes into the Dragon's Keep, thought Princess Fiona was there, only to see Wolf watching over Dragon while Donkey was gone, and then Shrek's and Fiona's honeymoon to traveling all the way to far, far away. Sorry, I had to go Shrek there. And so when it comes to that's still another scene. Dang, that's a big ass scene that they have to do, but they can just shorten it. I mean, they're TT games. They shorten the game, the cutscenes.